What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies? Welcome back to the Tatum Show. Happy Friday. I'm finna make this short as I can. I got to get a haircut, and I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I hope you do. But until then, put your seatbelt on and tell your mama and them to strap in, all right? DOJ investigation is starting against the MLB, obviously because they're turds and trying to make these MLB players wear all that gay stuff. We don't go for that. So now they're getting investigated. Obama's library is so trash that it's an embarrassment to all black people. I'm joking. He ain't even really black anyway. Let me get to the next thing. Starbucks fired employees after employees had to throw them things on somebody that tried to rob them. I don't understand how you fire an employee that's willing to stand up for his own life. Also, Carmelo Anthony crash out. We got some more of that. Dr. Umar Johnson, a fake doctor that lies about almost everything he does. He's the fakest dude in the black community, but he decided to say something super ridiculous and crazy about Carmelo Anthony, and we're going to get on his case about it. But before we get to any of that, we're going to talk about this fake holiday called Juneteenth. Welcome to the Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Tatum Show. I want to first off say thank you to all the members on a Tatum membership program. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. If you're a rookie or all the way up to deputy chief, I love you. I appreciate you. But shout out to the deputy chiefs for your support. Many of you guys have been supporting me from the very beginning, supported almost everything that I've done. I want to say thank you, and I love you guys, and I appreciate all of you. Also, Father's Day is coming up. You better get your reservation. I think they already sold. I mean, maybe even sold out already. I don't know. Go to the website. All you got to do is go to Open Table and go to Belmont in North Scottsdale. It is one of the best restaurants in Scottsdale, period. Michelin star chef, and they're featuring your boys' drink. So Verdict Bourbon will be featured on the menu as the Verdict Brown Sugar. This will give you an opportunity to try Verdict for the first time, and I will be there. Now, obviously, you guys know I can't tell you what time I'm going to be there because, you know, there's knuckleheads out there, but I'll be there because I love the restaurant, and hopefully I'll run into one of you guys there, and you can say hi, take a picture, or whatever the case may be. We're going to have the Verdict Bourbon as the old-fashioned. Then we're going to have the Cowboy Ribeye, which is incredible, and a drink that's Verdict-inspired. I mean, a dessert that's Verdict-inspired. So I want to see you there if you're in Scottsdale, Arizona. Come out there and have a good time for Father's Day. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. The first story of the day is this Juneteenth fiasco. Let me just be honest with you guys about this Juneteenth thing. I grew up in Texas. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, grew up in an all-black neighborhood. I never heard of Juneteenth. We never celebrated Juneteenth. That, to be honest, if you live in Texas or you're anywhere living in America and you're not buying into this facade of a holiday that's thrown into the nation to give you black people a carrot and say, look what we did for you. And it's almost like black people just accept that. Everything they do, oh, we'll give you a Martin Luther King Street. And they number thugging and killing on a Martin Luther King Street in every city in America. They think they give you a carrot and you accept it. There should be no federal holiday related to this unless it was a federal issue. This was something that happened in Galveston, Texas. This had nothing to do with the entire state of Texas, had nothing to do with the nation. And I'm going to point out, I'll do it right now so you don't have to wait to the end, but I'll point out some hypocrisies when it comes to Juneteenth that they don't want to tell you about. First and foremost, Juneteenth wasn't the last remnant of black people who were freed or notified that they were free. For an entire year after Juneteenth, the Choctaw Indian still had slaves. Black people were still enslaved by the Choctaw Indian. Now, they don't want to tell you that because they want you to know that Indians held slaves as well. They don't want you to know that. They just want you to know big, bad, boogie white man. The Native Americans had their slaves, and they were, a year later, released as slaves, and that was the last remnant of black people. They should have this holiday on that day. But they can't do it because they implicate Indians, Native Americans. That's why this is a fraud. One last thing, and then I'm gonna place a couple clips, and this tells you how people have no idea what Juneteenth really is, and you guys didn't hear about it until the 2020 fiasco. But let me just break this part down. When you look at all of the national holidays, all of the federal holidays, they were federal issues. They were federal accomplishments. 4th of July was our entire nation gaining its freedom. Juneteenth was Galveston, Texas. That's one city in the state of Texas. There is no other federal holidays that is focused on one particular city and one area, one dispensation of time related to one group of people. Do you know of none? It don't exist. All right, let's see what the people say. When they go out and interview people on the street, who knows what Juneteenth really is? Roll it.
What is Juneteenth?
What is Juneteenth? You know what Juneteenth is.
I don't know.
You got no idea?
No idea.
Is that is a celebration of I don't want this to be wrong, so I don't want it to be on the news.
It's the celebration of, now don't ask me what state, where they took the state and they actually messed up the homes of all the blacks that lived there. They ruined it. And then now it's celebrated as Juneteenth.
I think basically it's a time for like little kids come together or something like that.
It's a long story. I know really what happened, but it was a Wall Street for the blacks, I think so.
For some reason, it's recognized as a holiday that there was a gap between when the people knew they were freed in, I believe, Texas, and they didn't learn until June 19th. So there was a period of time they're actually freed and didn't know it.
I think you might be right, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
All right.
But to me, it's a bizarre holiday because it's basically celebrating not knowing you're free.
So let me articulate this real quick for people, for all my people that love me, and we all on the same wavelength, all right? You got to think, when the Emancipation was signed, there was no cell phones. There was no internet. There was no TV broadcasting. They didn't go around and say, hey, tune in tonight on the live stream. I got some breaking news. So it took a while after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed for people to begin to get the memo that, yes, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. You are no longer obligated to be, enslaved by somebody. And there were places that the message did not get to, that they had to eventually go out and make sure every ends of the Southern slave, I guess, apparatus was notified. And Galveston, Texas was one of the last places. And so what are we doing? We're celebrating that black folks didn't know they were free? Like the white man said, that to me, it's not a real celebration. They had to find something to pit us against each other on, dangle a carrot for the black people, and cause confusion on real independence. There would be no such thing as a Juneteenth if there was no 4th of July. Okay, let's continue. We can skip over Damani. This one is an interesting one. Listen to what the Negroids had to say about this. Roll the clip.
I'm like, to me, the only people who should be really resting or partying on Juneteenth are black people. I feel like everyone who's non-black should be activating around how to support black people. Like that's the essence of Juneteenth, right? The holiday itself is about the end of enslavement. And like,
mind you, we wouldn't have Juneteenth if it weren't for the hundreds of thousands of white Civil War Union soldiers who fought to free black slaves. So Juneteenth really isn't just a black holiday. Juneteenth is all of America. Whether you celebrate it or not, me personally, I really don't celebrate it. I don't see a reason for it. I'm good with the 4th of July as my Independence Day. That's what I've always celebrated. That's why I always will celebrate. But if you celebrate Juneteenth, to call it just a black holiday is dishonest, because it wasn't like black folks, black slaves at the time, did it by themselves. There were white soldiers from the Union side who fought for the freedom of black people. So it's for everyone. It really is for everyone, whether you're black, white, whatever. It's for everyone.
And let me add this. If it wasn't for the white people, again, fighting the Civil War, thank God that the Union beat the Confederacy, or black people still be slaves. But then, in addition, thank God there were good white people that had to travel or traverse the lands of Texas and notify people they were free. Thank God for them. We should be celebrating them. Thank you for going and telling people in Galveston that they were free. They wasn't dry. They didn't fly on an airplane. They had to do a whole trek to make sure that people were free. All right. Let's put this up here right here. This is the most realest thing about Juneteenth that was ever said. Juneteenth celebrates the day that Republicans freed the slaves who were owned by Democrats. That's one thing that people have to remember when you look at history, is that the Democrats were the ones that imposed slavery. They were ones that were in support of slavery, and they were the racist Democrats in the South. They called them Dixiecrats. The Democrats have historically been the party of racism, historically been the party of holding people back, and they're doing the same thing that they have always done. They do it today. Now you're enslaved in your mind, and Republicans are still doing the same thing they were doing, trying to free you from slavery. It was in chains back in 1800s, and now it's in the mind. And some of y'all still enslaved. And then they got the black people enslaved. They want to have the immigrants enslaved. That's what they do. They enslave people. All right, let's get to one of my favorite stories. And I'm so glad that this is happening. Shout out to all the MLB players, some of which who follow me. Shout out to y'all. I support y'all 100,000%. And I'm glad y'all stood up for what was right. You shouldn't let these people push that gay stuff on you. You can celebrate it if you want to. It should be optional, but to push it on you is asinine. Let's just show this image real quick, and then we'll get to the merch. Let's show the image of this baseball player. This all they wrote was a scripture on the hat, in addition to this ridiculously crazy, evil theology. This fake rainbow thing does not represent the gay community. This is the thing that bothers me about the whole gay thing. It is not all one thing. If you talk to somebody who's gay or lesbian, they don't support the trans thing. Y'all acting like because you gay, you also support trans stuff. There's a lot of people that I know that are gay that don't agree with transgenderism and don't think that it should be associated. Some people believe that that's a mental illness and it shouldn't be connected to LGB. Yeah, LGB. And then just because you trans don't mean you queer and don't mean you non-binary. Those are different things. And then they add a plus on it that nobody knows what's behind the plus. It's like AARP, NAACP, NCAA, sports, two spirits. What's a two spirit? So you telling me if you gay, you automatically associated with two spirits. It's all a farce. But let me show you this. And this is in honor of the baseball players and everybody that want to stand up for what's right biblically. And that we did these two hats. Shout out to John Root, because the black hat is the one he came up with. So if you support that and you when you want to go get one of those Genesis hats, just put Root in and you'll get 15% off. That's just the Genesis hat. Me and him partnered on that one. So put Root in. That'll give him credit for the hat. He came up with the hat. And it's a killer hat. I'm going to send these to some baseball players. But if you want to get it, it's on the store right now, ready and available. If you don't know what Romans 1:27 is, if they put Romans 1:27 on that hat, then people would be crying in the middle of the street. But if you don't know what it is, go look it up. Go to tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. Go get you some merch. We got some 250 merch, too. Y'all go there, check it out after the show. All right, let's get to this investigation from the Department of Justice investigating the MLB for their discrimination and attack on religious freedom of their own players. Roll the clip.
Big controversy. The Department of Justice now investigating Major League Baseball for potential religious discrimination. The league recently warned several San Francisco Giants players against expressing their Christian faith after they wrote Bible verses on their Pride Night caps. In a letter to Commissioner Rob Manfred, the department's Civil Rights Division writes, quote, "The Trump administration is committed to combating religious discrimination. I have referred this matter to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission for further investigation." Some athletes ripping the league.
This is what we're worried about right here. Major League Baseball players wearing a hat with a Bible verse on it. That's what we worry about in a $1 billion industry. Major League Baseball, you can suck it.
I feel like it would be similar to saying everybody should have to wear a cross on their jersey. But I would never expect that with my teammates that don't believe the same thing. At the end of the day, I think I would literally just feel like, why is this in sport?
Outkick's Clay Travis with this. MLB has a real mess here. It's not 2020 anymore. Back then, you'll remember the league went all in on the Black Lives Matter movement amid the George Floyd riots. The following year, Manfred yanked the All-Star game out of Atlanta over pressure from the far left. It was based on the false narrative that Georgia's new voting laws amounted to Jim Crow 2.0. And in 2023, the Dodgers invited a drag group that mocks Catholic nuns to their Pride Night. Gianna.
Demonic. That's all this is demonic. Let's get to the next clip.
Well, the backlash is growing after Major League Baseball warned several San Francisco Giants players against writing Bible verses on their hats during a Pride Night promotion. The Department of Justice has now opened an investigation, writing to the MLB commissioner this: the Civil Rights Act prohibits MLB and its franchises from unreasonably burdening the rights of players with religious objections to serving as the league's vehicle for pro-Pride messages. Federal law is clear. Employers must modify their uniform requirements to reasonably accommodate their employees' exercise of religion. But a Giants announcer is pointing the finger at the players.
All right, let's pull one of the hats up for not our hat, but the hat on the player. Maybe that first clip. I just want to go through this real quick. I want y'all to understand what we're really saying here, or what they're pushing here. Lesbian, gay, bisexual. That mean you horny. That ain't got nothing. You just a freak. And then they got trans, LGBTQ. Q is queer, I think. TQA, ally or something. They got non-binary. They must got that after the plus. These are all sexual preferences for the most part. And let me explain to you why. All of this is simply homosexuality. That's all it really is. When you gay, you homosexual. When you lesbian, you just a girl homosexual. When you bi, if you sleeping with a man and you a man, you gay. If you trans, you transition to a girl and you sleeping with men, you gay. Because you was a man. And then if you a man, you transition to a girl, you with a girl, you in a gay trans relationship. It's just all gay. Just say you gay. You don't need all these letters. It's just gay. And it's just gay sex. That's all this is. It's not about you as a person. It's not your haircut. It's not your mama and them. It's not where you grew up at. It's not the high school you went to. It's not the degree you have. It's not the person, none of that stuff. It's just because you want to be, you trying to drive down the wrong street. They ain't got nothing to do with none of us. Come on, bring Hamid on here. Roll it.
Major League Baseball in hot water. They're claiming this is just about a uniform policy, but a lot of people out there, many people up on Capitol Hill, see this as targeted harassment against Christians. What say you?
Well, let's look at the legal framework. Under Title VII, which is administered for private employers like Major League Baseball teams by the EEOC, or public employers, which I administer at the Civil Rights Division, it is illegal to treat employees differently in their terms and conditions of employment, promotion opportunities, hiring, et cetera, on the basis of protected characteristics. And religion is one of those protected characteristics under our federal laws. And so that doesn't automatically mean that the Major League Baseball employers are in the wrong here. But what it means is if they're treating people of faith and their faith-based messages on their hats differently than, say, employees who want to have pins that are LGBTQ or other types of messaging on their hats, and they tolerate that. In other words, if they're applying that uniform policy in a discriminatory manner, that definitely could be the basis of an employment discrimination claim.
All right, now here is, we can skip over this because we're running low on time. I think that was our last clip when it comes to the MLB stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Make sure you go to Tatum store. Put the hats on there real quick. I want you guys to wear these if you want to. I mean, they're great hats, great quality. We print them right here. Get you one of these hats to represent and speak on behalf of what you believe. because every single day of the week, these trolls get to force these things down our throat to make us believe all this radical, crazy stuff. But this is a subtle opportunity for you to say what you believe without being all in each other's face. Because to be honest, look, this is a scripture. We know what it means. If they want to know what it means, they look it up and they know exactly what we believe. All right, let's get to the next thing. Barack Obama's trash can presidential museum. Let me say this, man. If these people wasn't stupid, I'd be okay with the presidential museum. But they hate America. They hate America. They hate white people. And they are the primary reason that our country is divided the way it is. The man can't just open up a thing and they just be cool with everybody. They got to make it about race and all this old crazy stuff. Listen to The View.
If you also look at the way that he has done this presidential center, it is in a historic neighborhood, Jackson Park, which is a neighborhood that needed to be developed. That's a neighborhood that has been underserved for so long. You think about it, it's going to be open daily, free of charge for children and adults. It's for everyone to enjoy. And then the centerpiece is this 225-foot tall tower. And this is what is on it. It says, "You are America. The single most powerful word in our democracy is the word we the people. We shall overcome. Yes, we can. Oh, what a glorious task we are given to continually try to improve this great nation of ours." That is the message of the library. We can. Yes, we can. We're coming together. He's setting the tone with his very presidential center, and that is why Trump will never be the president that he was, or quite frankly, the man that he is.
They can't get Trump's name out of their mouth bone. They always say people living rent-free. Trump living rent-free in your head. What does Trump got to do with this presidential center? Are you stupid enough to think Trump ain't going to have one? Wait till Donald Trump is out of office. He's going to have the biggest, most extravagant presidential center that you ever seen in your life, and his accomplishments are going to be far-reaching beyond what Barack Obama could ever wish or think of. Quit playing with yourself. Barack Obama caused so much division in this country. Let me give y'all some facts surrounding this circumstance. Why she say, it's free to the public. These people paying for this with their tax dollars. Roll it.
For those of you who don't see an issue with what Barack Obama has done to the Woodlawn and surrounding communities with his presidential center, I want you to take a moment to imagine this. Imagine if Donald Trump put a tower right in that same location. Imagine if Donald Trump ignored the complaints of all of the citizens who lived around that center who said they were fearful of losing their property. Imagine if those same citizens started losing their properties because of extreme property tax increases to the tune of 700%. Imagine if you saw seniors being displaced from that very area and Trump literally still said, it's fine, I'm opening up my center. And he said it was a success. Would you agree that it was a success? Or would you say he committed an atrocity against that community? If you cannot see the issue unless I put Trump in it, you are the problem. What Barack Obama has done to that area, the way that he denied them and ignored their complaints, is wrong. Those people they used every system and process to try to push back and fight back, and he denied them. The foundation denied them. And then the city even placated and basically kind of lied to the residents and said that they would work to avoid property tax increases, and nothing of that nature occurred. The city actually increased property taxes all across the south and west side in conjunction with the already high increases that happened as a result of the center. So again, I ask you to imagine, how would you feel if that center was by Donald Trump? And he put a tower, he took in a park in Jackson Park, took a park, got rid of the park to put his tower there. How would you feel?
Let's go to D4. I want to play that clip.
Barack Obama's library was built in your neighborhood. He kicked you out, and now you're going to pay for it. So for all of the Barack Obama supporters, the ones that said that Barack Obama did such a great job for Black people when he was president twice, he essentially ruined the country. But that's another video. So the Barack Obama library has been built. The budget for it was $850 million. Barack Obama and his foundation said, hey, we pledge $450. So they pledged that they would give $450 million to the $850 million project. They deposited to date $1 million. And not only that, the budget blew up and now it's over $1 billion project. The building has been built. It's ugly as hell. I'm going to put a picture in because it's disgusting looking. And the thing that is the kicker is he's going to make you guys pay that deficit. So not only did he say he was going to give $450 and only gave $1 million, they still blew the budget. So even if the Barack Obama Foundation gave the $450 million that they promised to give, they still blew the budget. So they're still going to make the taxpayers on the South Side pay for it. We're talking about the South Side of Chicago. Where's the money? Where's the wealth on the South Side of Chicago? He threw y'all out and put this ugly ass building up, and he's going to make you pay for it. So Christian Maxwell is the candidate for District 1 in Chicago. She won the primary against the incumbent, and she stood in front of a town hall meeting last week, I think it was, and she's promised to write a bill that will allow for, she's calling it South Side reparations for the South Siders who were displaced by this building that went up that you're going to have to pay for. It's reparations for the people who were displaced, essentially kicked out. So when she becomes a congresswoman in District 1, she's going to pass this bill that the people that were thrown out of their own neighborhood to put up this ugly building, they're going to get money. Now, this is not reparations for all you guys who got your hands out thinking that you owe some shit because some slave was your ancestor, which is not true. It's not for y'all. It's for the Black people and whoever else, I guess, live in that neighborhood, which is primarily a Black community. It's for those people who Barack Obama kicked out so he can build his ugly ass concrete.
All right, let's get to the next clip. The contract is not being paid. I want to get to that one. Roll the clip.
An ID to get in. But outside the gates, different scene. Apparently, Obama stiffed the Black subcontractors who built this stone slab.
Some of our contractors are already in bankruptcy. That's what they're saying, that if it wasn't the fact that they worked on this Obama project, they would not be under this type of problem, filing bankruptcy for protection.
The overall monies expended on this project have now reached nearly $4 million in the red.
In what sense is celebrating Juneteenth if our Black contractors are not getting their money?
Barry built $1 billion vanity project, booked celebrities to serenade him, and didn't pay the Black construction workers. This isn't Donald Trump. This is Barack Hussein Obama who did that. Everything they've been yelling at Trump for, narcissism, hideous, egotistical architecture, being over budget. Barry's been doing it the whole time in Chicago. Trump's building big, beautiful things.
All right, let's get to the next clip.
There's a little bit of revisionist history. Yeah, he's incredibly eloquent. He's a very skilled orator. He's very articulate. I'll give him all of that. But he was also a very divisive figure.
How?
And
Yes.
Can I talk? Can I talk? Thank you.
This is a good one.
Look, we saw it was on full display. They open it up with perhaps the most performative woke thing you can do, a land acknowledgement. Really? You're going to say this is on stolen land? If you think it's on stolen land, then give it back.
This is all you. I mean, this is like
So look at the Negroid that's on the plantation in his mind. Cannot understand how stupid it is to do a land acknowledgement when you're going to bulldoze the land and put a property on it anyway. And then the land acknowledgement to what tribe? They didn't get a chance to do a speech. He ain't even put them in the lineup. The Choctaw, whatever Indian tribe that they acknowledge the land, that you going to get them a dividend? Are they going to get some revenue from tourism? Man, no. They ain't giving them. And y'all know they not. It's called stupid and woke. I'm going to go and say, I just want to acknowledge that this is stolen land. All right, finish building all this stuff and $100 million properties on his land. The natives can't go there and do nothing. They don't even got a little shrine for them somewhere. Do they got a plaque? They ain't doing nothing for these people. It's all stupid and lies. All right, I don't want to go to Obama's speech, but I want to go to this one. D9, clip D9 is I want y'all to understand this. This is how black people get screwed all the time by these fake black people who don't care about the community. They never lived the black experience. They never lived in a black neighborhood. They just out here getting propped up by the white liberal to make y'all Negroes feel good. Because this is a real world example of the tale of two black men. One is a puppet. The other one lives in the community and works for the community. Roll the clip.
Right now, there are two centers being built in Chicago by two powerful black men. One of those black men is conservative, and the other one is a loud and proud Democrat. One of these centers was actually begged for by the community, and the other one was fought tooth and nail by that same community of black people and was not wanted. The first center I'm talking about is the Obama Center. That is by Barack Obama, obviously. The Barack Obama Presidential Center was actually fought by the residents of the Jackson Park area. They didn't want it. They fought to the end and were overpowered. The land, the parkland, was taken, and promises were made that were not kept. Barack Obama promised to fund an endowment to the tune of $470 million. To date, he has only given $1 million to the same people he promised that he would give $470 million to offset damage. The other center is by Pastor Corey Brooks. It's called the Robert McCormick Leadership and Opportunity Center. This center is actually honestly begged for by the community, and it did not steal any land from anyone. Pastor Corey Brooks actually took land that was previously utilized or being utilized by a vacant, abandoned building that prostitution and a variety of different crimes were being conducted out of. So this was land that was being underutilized and was an actual, just an eyesore for the overall community. The community itself is working on this center. He is empowering people all around one of the most notorious projects in Chicago to become a part of the story. He is not creating damage with his center. He is actually healing an entire community with his center. Let's talk about other key differences. So like Obama's center, he was supposed to put in $470 million to an endowment to offset damage to the community. The Barack Obama Center is also causing immense damage to the people who are long-term property owners in the south side of Chicago. So since that center has been declared, Southsiders have seen a dramatic increase in their property taxes.
So we kind of talked about this before. Maybe we should have used this clip instead of that first one, but anyway, y'all get the point. It's a mess. Now let me encapsulate this before we get to the next topic, and I think we'll be done here soon. This is the clip that tells you everything you need to know about Barack Obama and his trashy wife. Yes, roll it.
One word to describe your next chapter. One word.
Fun.
Me.
Oh.
That's what you...
It's a whole bunch of one words that she should have used. One should have been teeth. How you that rich in your bottom rack look like you've been chewing glass all day? You should have said Michael. You should have said, there's a whole bunch of stuff you should have said. Stupid. I could go down the list of all the words that Michelle Obama could have said that was representative of who she is. And y'all can get mad at me all you want. I don't like this woman. When you got a woman this disrespectful to her husband, it tells you what kind of woman she is right off the bat. Ain't no way in the world me and my wife gonna be sitting somewhere and they go, what's next for you guys? And I'm gonna say something and she gonna be like, me. What you mean, me? Michelle, you wouldn't be nowhere if it wasn't for Barack Obama. And to be honest, he look better than you do. If you want to keep it real, if he put a wig on, he look better than you. So it ain't on me. It should be we. It should be family. You should say something positive. But you know what? You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. And I don't care what nobody say. Now, I don't know if she a man or not. I don't think she is. But I will say, y'all quit lying to this woman, act like she cute, though. Michelle Obama is not a good-looking woman. And it's okay to not be good-looking. Everybody can't be fine, like my wife. Everybody can't be fine like that. If you a good person, then be a good person. You can't not be fine and be mean. You got to pick one. If you fine, maybe you can have a little rough edges. But if you ain't fine, you can't also not be nice. Anyway, let's go to the next topic. Starbucks. Y'all tripping. I want to GoFundMe for this kid. Can somebody find this kid and a couple of employees that got fired over this, there is no way on God's green earth that you should fire your employees after they had to fight for their lives during a robbery. I'm glad they started throwing them hands. Roll the clip.
It was a Sunday in December 2023, the middle of the afternoon. Michael Harris was working drive-through.
We were just going about our normal day. Two robbers walked in.
One suspect walks behind the counter and shoves a female worker to the ground.
I was scared, but also just calm at the moment because I was just like, whatever we could do to just get them out of here would be perfect.
The robbers demand money and strike Harris with a gun.
After that point, like when my vision went black, I was like, I'm about to get shot.
A customer in the drive-thru sees what's happening and reverses her car.
It was definitely a life or death situation in my eyes.
Another worker, also fired after this, saw a suspect lower his gun, so he shoved him and noticed the gun was fake.
The trigger broke off when they hit him with it. My coworker announced that it was a fake gun, like right as he got it off of them. And that's when we jumped and like started to fight them a little bit more.
But now in prison after robbery convictions. Harris says he got a call from corporate.
They said, this is Starbucks. We are terminating you effective immediately.
He hired attorney Ryan Krupp.
You have the right to self-preservation. You have the right to make sure that you and your family are not going to be physically harmed. Full stop.
Krupp says Starbucks' response could lead to a future deadly outcome.
All it's going to do is dissuade people potentially from protecting their own lives when they may need it the most. And that is not a world that we can live.
I just have a feeling this was somebody woke doing this. Man, they come in there with fake guns threatening your life. They didn't just come in there with a gun. They hidden them with the gun. They pistol whipping people in there. And you find out it's a fake gun and you start giving them that work, you should get an award. Starbucks should give you a Medal of Honor. They should put you on a poster somewhere. You telling me people pistol whipping people in there and they want them to just sit there and just get whipped. Of course they're going to put the hands on people. Shout out to my homeboy, light skin. Put light skin back on there. Who is that guy? The main guy. Put light skin back on there. No, light skin. The brother. How y'all don't know? How you don't know what they're light skin, man? They're my brother right here. Somebody give him a GoFundMe. If you find out who this dude is, you let me know, man. I wanna bless him with some money or something. Give him a free T-shirt or something. Because this is what you expect out of men in the face of crisis. The trigger fell off and he said, oh my God, I've been waiting on this my whole life. I've been coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord, that's what the song played in my head. It's everything slow down for me. The trigger come off. Oh my God, I'm finna work, baby. I'm finna work. Somebody get me go ahead and prep me a banana bread and warm it up. Cause I'm finna get to work right here. They coming in here with fake guns. It's finna get jiggy. And I respect they gangster. All right. Carmelo Anthony crash out. I got to try to do this before I get my haircut. I think I got like 2 minutes left. I'm going to try to do it. I think my guy, he may run a little late. I got to say this real quick. Dr. Umar Johnson, fake Dr. Umar. I think he got an honorary fake doctorate from Umar Johnson University or something. Because ain't no way in the world he's smart. He the biggest con artist in black people history. It's that fake black dude, what's his name? Sean King. That white dude, Sean King, that fake like he black. It's Benjamin Crump. It's the bobblehead, what's his name? Al Sharpton, Mr. Bobblehead. And these other losers that have destroyed the black community because they tricking y'all in order to get money from you. Listen to what Umar Johnson said and tell me he ain't stupid. Roll
Do
it.
you think that the 35 years felt like justice, though? What
it should have never came to that, first of all. It should have never came to that, first of all.
So you think he should have got off innocent of the charges that was brought on Carmelo Anthony?
Let's go back, because you're putting the cart before the horse. Let's go back to the indictment.
You putting the school before the money. How about we talk about that? I mean, it's Dr. Umar Johnson. You ain't never built that school. I seen a video of him claiming it's a school. That was 45 years ago. Let him finish.
From the grand jury. The grand jury decided Carmelo would be charged with murder. Who's on the grand jury, Loom? You don't know. It's a secret. I want you to see how white supremacy operates behind the scenes. You can't challenge the grand jury, Loon, because you don't even know who they are.
Right.
So the people who decided this 17-year-old would be charged with murder are complete secrets. And you and I both know they all white. Are you with me? So first, deal with the grand jury. Him being charged with murder was a crime in and of itself.
So what do you say about the
Let
event?
me give you one more. You're moving too fast.
Go ahead.
Hold on. In Texas, if you're 17, you're automatically tried as an adult. Grand jury had no control over that. Are you with me?
Yes.
He was 17. He's automatically tried as an adult, but he doesn't automatically have to be indicted with murder. That could have been aggravated, right? Manslaughter.
Right.
There's a whole list of crimes that could have went with.
So you're saying he should have been charged, just not with
Time out. I think he went to Ignorant Black Folk University and got his doctorate degree, honorary. He didn't even study to do that. He got an honorary degree from a fake university where dumb black people go. What do you mean? They had a choice. The grand jury don't try to find charges for you. They have a probable cause statement from law enforcement to the prosecution, and they present it to the grand jury. They're presenting murder to the grand jury. And they're giving the elements of a crime that implicates him on murder charges. The grand jury evaluates the evidence and determines, is this prosecutable based on what was explained. They don't just pick charges for you when you just say, Carmelo Anthony got into a fight, and they go, let me see what charge we want to do. Liquor law violation. They don't go like that. Umar Johnson would know that because he's a stewhead. Finish it.
First degree murder or whatever. Was it first degree?
He didn't have to be charged at all.
So
this could have been self-defense.
A white young boy body drops, and you think he should not have been charged.
The reason you labeled it a white boy is you're putting it within the context of the racism of American society.
Lord help us. No, help them, because they silly. All right, let's get to the other clip that's associated with this. It's a lady, and then we're going to get back to Umar Fake University Doctorate Johnson. You know, when I was talking about how stupid he is and all that stuff, this is like his little sister or somebody. A baby mama or something. Look at this woman. Put up on the screen. Woman, do your wig piece right. Before you start doing all that talking, you got to get them edges done and that wig thing right. And y'all always talking about white people, but you appropriating white people's hair. You know if you pull that wig off, it ain't nothing but naps under there. Balled up fabric. And your forehead probably start back here somewhere. Lady, get your stuff, get that lace front together before you start talking crazy about people. Roll the clip.
You telling me a grainy video is shown to jurors, but it was shown in 4K clear to the people that witnessed it? No witness on that stand had that little man's back? None? 0 out of 21 people being questioned?
Time out. Black people logic. She said not 21 people and not one of them said that Carmelo Anthony was innocent. Ma'am, that should tell you all you need to know. You had white, you had black, you had eyewitnesses who were there that said Carmelo Anthony was wrong. And your logic says they all wrong. Everybody wrong? Roll the clip.
Come on, man, I'm done with all of that. I feel the same way about white people, the same way they feel about my people. Yeah, try one of us.
I mean, even just following the case.
Oh, so you talking about murdering somebody? That's what... Roll it.
I know I just, we've all been kind of keeping up with it. And just to see even that the judge, the defense attorney, and Austin Metcalf's father was in, a picture at a party they having a time. There is an alleged post from Austin, from, of course, before he passed, that, he had 2 assault rifles on his, resting on himself in the car, saying that I dare one of the monkeys to come to this track meet today. But this is...
Maybe it's that hair dye in her head, trying to be like white people. Your hair is not blonde, woman, and that dye seeking through and getting your brain messed up. Where you see a video of of Austin Metcalf saying, with an AR-15 saying, I want monkeys to come to the track meet. Where you get that at? You just made that up, sis, because y'all ain't got no facts on your side. You made it up. You know that boy ain't said nothing about no monkeys. Because if he felt that way when he saw Carmelo Anthony, he would have put them things on him. He wouldn't have said, I don't want to fight you at a track meet, man. Can you move out the tent? He would have started whooping Carmelo. But y'all can't be honest to save Jesus Christ. It's 19 seconds left. Let her finish.
Someone where, Carmelo Anthony was a 3.7 GPA student working 2 jobs. But he's the one that we're supposed to believe is a thug, though.
Right. Of course. Because that's how they see us. They want everything is good because it's white. And then when it comes to black, it's angry. It's violent.
And stupid. You missed the stupid one. They think you're stupid and appropriating culture. Because you got a whole head full of weave in there. Your hair don't spiral down like that, and it ain't that long. Y'all got to stop acting like this. This is why people don't respect some of y'all. Carmelo Anthony, the reason that they view him like that because he killed somebody. He killed somebody. Somebody died because he stabbed him at a track meet. That's why they view him like that. Come on, let Umar say one more thing, and then I got to be done. Is my barber down there?
Let me flip it around for you, Loon. If two 210-pound football players, black football players, walk up to a 135-pound black boy, grab him by the hoodie, put him in a headlock, try to jump him and stomp him out, and that white boy unintentionally stabs him or he falls onto the white boy's knife, which is what we believe happened, okay? Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2. Loon, if I'm stabbing you, why am I going halfway with a knife blade that's only 3.5 inches? You fell onto my knife. Regardless, Loon, do you really think those 2 black boys who fell on that white boy's knife?
Time out, bro. I can't do it. I got to get my hair cut. My barber here fell on a knife. There ain't no human being on planet Earth out of 21 witnesses said that he fell on a knife. Carmelo Anthony's defense isn't arguing that he fell on a knife. Nobody's saying that these black people cannot take accountability for nothing. Now the boy done fell on somebody's knife. He comes up with another scenario. I'll make it quick for you because I got to get out. He says Casey, what's the kid named? Casey Allison. Casey Allison was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison in Texas because he got into an altercation at a school where he stabbed another student. Let me put this in perspective for you because you know that I ain't got time. Casey Allison is in a restroom. A Hispanic kid wanted to fight him. The Hispanic kid is known for fighting and all kind of stuff, so he goes in the restroom, had his buddy record it because they about to get down with the hands. This is considered mutual combat at this point. Nobody's bullying nobody doing anything. They line up in the restroom, they say, let's get it. The Hispanic kid punches him first, bow. But then the white kid, Casey, takes a knife and fights him and hit him with a knife. They're mutually fighting. Other people start fighting in the bathroom. To be honest, the Hispanic kid was winning. Then the white kid stabbed him. Hispanic kid walks out in the hallway, falls down, dies. That is way different than Carmelo Anthony up under a tent and they ask him to leave and they decide to say, man, I'm going to make you leave, and they hit him and they kill somebody. It wasn't mutual combat. It wasn't 2 kids wanting to fight. They didn't arrange a fight in the bathroom. Nobody told nobody to record it because they about to see him get it on. 2 different things. That white kid, he could argue. I thought it could be self-defense. But they gave him 10 years in prison. Different jurors, different jurisdiction. And it was not black and white. The witnesses said that the Casey didn't even want to fight. That's why you can't listen to these Negroids. All right, y'all, I got to get out of here. I love you. God bless you. God bless America. Happy Friday. No post-show clarity. We did a bunch of it this week. I think we got episodes 30, 40 minutes. We'll jump back next week. I hope y'all have a good weekend. catch me at Belmont. And then also make sure you get that hat. Put that hat up in there one more time in case you want to get it. It's an opportunity for us to show what we believe instead of all this trans crazy stuff that they try to force on you. See y'all later. I'm out.